I'm Ashton Marcus, and I'm on location at Theater Out for the opening of Wolves.
Hi, I'm Ashton Marcus with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine, and you're?
Tito Ortiz. I'm the director of the play Wolves by Steve Yockey. I am a director based in LA and Orange County. I'm a company member at the Actors Gang, and I direct a lot of shows here at Theater Out. This is probably my third production with them. So I'm a theater artist, actor, director in Orange County and LA.
And so why did you choose to direct this play?
It was part of our season selection process. We do a big pool of plays, and as it gets closer to choosing the season, we pick the ones that really stick out, that we really want to do. And I just love this play because it's just it's so quick and funny and terrifying, and it's a really good time. And I really wanted to play with that.
Could I have a brief synopsis of this play?
It's Little Red Riding Hood deconstructed. It's about a man named Ben that is too scared to go outside because of the wolves, and his friend likes to go hunting for wolves, and one day they bring back a wolf and bite off a little more than they can chew.
Does it have any kind of timely messages?
Yeah, it's always about how far you can push your boundaries, and you shouldn't be doing the things you shouldn't be doing, and sometimes being dangerous is not. Sometimes danger can be safe, but this danger is not safe. The narrator talks about how if you find a moral, it's closer to you than you think, and you won't like it as much. And that's very true. There's a lot of morals in the story, and if you see yourself in them, it is kind of scary to think of it that way. Yeah.
So what do you look for in your casting when you do your casting?
I just look for actors that are really good with connecting with the audience, eye contact, and emotionally layered, and are able to go to the extreme and not be afraid to look weird, and just really put their all into it, physically and mentally as well. Yeah.
And what kind of style do you have as an artist? I mean, are you more dramatic, classical, avant-garde? Do you like pushing the envelope, or do you prefer doing something philosophical?
Yeah, I am very much into very physical work, physical, emotional work. So nothing that gets too cerebral, but that putting the cast or the show through something that's so emotionally jarring, and how that can register with people internally, like in their gut. And I really try and push the envelope as far as staging goes. And maybe it looks a little weird, and people aren't next to each other when they're talking to each other, or excuse me. And this is one of the first times it actually was very literal with the things that are happening on stage. So it's very exciting to see what else can happen next with each show that I do. So.
Okay, thank you very much for being on the show.
Absolutely, my pleasure.
Hi, I'm Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine, and you are?
Lori Kelly. I started out in musical theater when I was, in grade school, high school. I went to college, and to be honest with you, it's like I've been in Orange County for since the mid to late '90s, and I love doing theater. Theater Out's my favorite. I know they've been around 10 years, so I've been with them since before they had a space. So this is the kind of theater I love to do. So I kind of got out of doing musical theater just because I did so many straight plays. So I normally do this, typically do this kind of theater, like this. I played the narrator. I told the story of the play. Basically, you kind of think it's a very dark fairy tale. Once upon a time, that's how it starts, but it gets very dark. So she basically starts and stops the action and lets the audience knows what's going on and what's going to happen next, maybe, and it just kind of leads everybody around to what's going to happen. Yeah.
Actually, now that I think about it, a lot of the fairy tales from our childhood, they were pretty dark. They were.
They're all dark. In fact, the cast and I are always talking about how messed up fairy tales really are. They're scary, and this one is. In fact, we had a couple of people come Thursday night because they couldn't come through the run, and that was the first thing they said was it was really scary. So that was kind of cool.
So what did you get out of this play? What do you think is the overlying message, or basically anything we can take away from it?
Well, I think that's kind of hard for me to tell, because I always like for people to take away what they feel. So I don't feel that's a fair question, only because in the beginning I say, if you're looking for a moral, you may not find it, in this story. But then at the very end, the narrator comes to the realization that there is sort of a moral. But is the wolf at the door, that kind of thing, is he really big bad wolf, So I'm sorry. It's like I didn't think about that one, but yeah.
Say one of my viewers actually wanted to think about coming here.
Yeah.
What can they expect to see?
Out of the show?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Thrills and chills. So you didn't see the show, correct?
Sorry,
Okay.
I couldn't find part.
No, yeah. No, it's dark and it is funny, but it's that fairy tale funny that, like when you think of children's fairy tales, it's very dark, but it's, how do you say this? It's like the old scary woman who turns into the witch. She's really creepy, but the kids love her, that kind of thing. So with this one, it is very dark, and it's a love story, a complete love story. And, guy brings a guy home from a bar, and, he's a wolf, or is he? So blood, lots of blood, and just crazy. I don't know. It's so intense. It's like bloody, bloody, bloody. I mean, that's what I'm telling everybody. It's bloody, it's gory, it's a love story. You're going to love it. I can see people walking away from this saying, wow, what did we just see? So, yeah, I mean, I don't know.
All right. Thank you very much for being on the show.
You're welcome. Thank you for coming and interviewing us.
Hi, I'm Ashley Marcus with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine, and you're?
Kevin Curran. I'm musical theater and theater performer of Southern California, performed in many of the civic light operas and regional theaters throughout the region.
And which character did you play?
Wolf. Wolf is a character who is picked up at the bar by a much younger gentleman to come back to that gentleman's apartment and taunt his ex-lover / roommate, and who ends up getting murdered in the process.
Okay, so what do you think about this play? I mean, any kind of social takes we can take from it?
Yeah, I think the play is dealing with a lot of different things on different levels. Obviously, the metaphor of blood. Blood is a recurring sort of image and a theme throughout the play that can come to represent contagion. Certain people have connected that to the HIV/AIDS crisis. It can also represent the sort of fear of intimacy between gay men, and then also this sort of question of the violence of urbanization, and etc.
Thank you very much for being on the show then.
All right, thank you.
Hi, I'm Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine, and you're?
I'm Dylan Wallace. I went to Cal Poly Pomona, theater major, graduated a couple years ago. I'm a playwright, actor, aspiring director, and this is my first show with Theater Out. I played Jack. Jack is a young man who just kind of wants affection, but he doesn't know exactly where he wants it from, how he wants it. And he kind of feels like, he needs to cling to something needs to be there for him. So he's going back and forth between these two worlds where he's trying to find affection from men sexually, but then he also goes back to this comfortable place with the other character, Ben, who he once was in a romantic relationship with, but now not in love anymore, but just comfortable in that place with him in the apartment.
Well, what do you think about the play? If one of my viewers came by and decided to come here, what do you think they get from it?
I mean, there's a lot of stuff that this play says. There's just talking about where the gay community is now, currently, and how we don't usually get to see these kind of people portrayed in that kind of light, where a lot of the time I feel like gay people are presented as a little bit more stereotypical in the media. This is very much more real, a real depiction of, the struggles that we go through in our minds. We beat ourselves up, over stupid things, and it's because of what, society has put on us, the way we've been made to feel as second-class citizens. There's that. There's the idea of, sexually transmitted disease, HIV. You can get all that stuff from this play. Well, you can take that from the play. Tones like that.
Well, I've seen a lot of the mainstream characters who are homosexual, basically on television and movies and all. And then again, they are very but they're very one-dimensional. You know what I mean? I mean, they're positive. They're very positive. But the thing about it is, and then maybe for political reasons, or maybe the directors are a little afraid of doing something edgy. But I think that takes away from actors. It's like telling an actor, you can only say 5 words, and these are the 5 words you can say, opposed to really doing something dramatic. And again, I do find this more realistic because being in the theater business, I have friends who are gay, and again, they are just like everyone else. What do you think about that?
Well, it's interesting what you say, because I was just talking about this the other day, where in the media, the characters that they show who are gay are all, like you said, one-dimensional. They're the hairstylist, they're the dance teacher, they're the drama teacher, and they come in, they are really super sassy, and they're done. They're there for maybe a minute, and that's all there is to them. You don't ever get to see their home life, their any kind of family, any kind of anything that makes them three-dimensional, anything that makes them a deep, interesting character that you'd want to really get to know. It's really just somebody that you laugh at, and then you're done.
Thank you very much for being on the show.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine, and you're?
Jeffrey Fargo. I've been working doing acting projects through Orange County, Los Angeles, Inland Empire area for quite some time now. I played Ben in Wolves, and Ben is an interesting fellow. He's maybe crazy to the audience, but I think there's that aspect that everybody can relate to of being very, very afraid of what's out there in this very new situation. A small town boy thrown into a big city, and he's living with his ex-boyfriend, and he's afraid of the darkness that's out there, and afraid that he's going to lose that relationship that he thinks is kind of still there, that he's grasping onto.
If my viewers came by here and wanted to see the play, what can they expect?
I think you can expect some challenging, some interesting theater, and you don't get a lot of that right now. Musicals are great, and fun and happy times are great. But what's really interesting about Wolves is that it's funny, and it's a little bit frightening, and it's really quick. It's an hour worth of theater, but it's really intense, and it deals again with relationships, loss of love, and how scary that can be. And I think it's like a modern day fairy tale. So it has that darkness, but it has that entertainment value, and it's a contemporary fairy tale that deals with our issues. So yeah, I think it's a fun night of theater.
Okay, thank you very much for being on the show.
Of course, my pleasure. Thank you.
Wolves will be playing at Theater Out from April 3rd to the 19th. For more information, go to www.theaterout.com or to www.theorangecurtainrev.com.